Alright, today we're going to show you how to change the pump on your pool. Our pump's gone out and we ordered a new one, and we're going to go ahead and swap that out. As you can see, the pool is nice and green from a winter of not being run, but after today we should have that problem solved. Alright, first thing you need to do before any kind of electrical project is to make sure you have electricity turned off. So in a minute I'm going to go make sure that all the circuit breakers to this are off so that we don't have what could be a tragic accident by somebody getting electrocuted. Then the next step is I'm going to get some of these wires up so that I don't damage them in any way, and move them out of the way and clean this up a little bit, get some of this grass out of the area so that we'll have a nice, clean, safe work area. Alright, I bet you didn't think I could move that fast. Alright, we definitely have the power cut now, so there's no live electricity over here to any of the components. We kind of cleaned up the area so we can see what we're working with. This pump's going to have to be removed. There's a couple of screws that need to be backed out right here. We're also going to have to make a cut in the PVC here. We'll probably cut this, reuse this fitting, just back it out, put it into the new pump if that works. And we'll have to make a cut here. I don't like the way that I did this last time. It looks a little stressed, so I'm going to put a cut here, add a section to lower this more even with the pump, and then redo this midsection right here. Alright, here's some of the tools and materials that I've prepared for the job. You're going to need a PVC pipe cutter. We're going to use that to make the cuts I was just talking about. I purchased several 1.5 inch, I believe they're 1.5, might be 1 1/4. Pretty sure they're 1.5 inch junctions to fit the pipe. I have one extra screw and fitting just in case I run into some problems. I have several, I gotta check and see if there's any left in these containers of pipe glue. This is the blue one. The blue one is the rain and wet one. Can be used when the pipes are still wet. Some of the other sealants you have to have a dry material for it to seal. I've just always bought the blue. It's just easier knowing that regardless of whether it's wet or dry, it's going to seal. I'm going to have an extra piece of flex pipe left over from the last time I did this project. Alright, here we have our new pump assembly. We ordered this online from eBay. It was around $169, no tax, and it was free shipping. It was a heck of a deal. Got it from Westwood Pools out of New Jersey. It is a Hayward pump, so you probably have Hayward components on your pool, or maybe you've heard about it. It's a pretty popular brand. There's an instruction manual, some type of thank you card from Westwood, new filter cap, and there we are. This is a 1.5 horsepower pump. It's actually a little bit stronger than the one I have on there now. And it looks like it has similar connections. So, we'll try to get it set up much like the original one. Now I want to take the new pump here and kind of get a feel for how it's going to match up with the old one. Look pretty similar. So it looks like instead of, see, one of the differences here we see is that this is a side output, whereas this one looks like it was output more towards the center, so our pumps can actually sit in further. That shouldn't be a problem. And also see that where this is about even with the input. This one, the input's a little bit higher, so we can make those kind of adjustments afterwards. I'm going to go ahead and make my cuts now, and then remove the old pump out of the way. Alright, this is the part that gets messy. I can stop the water from backflowing through this pipe by closing the valve on the pool. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. It's still unfiltered from last season. Now it's in the closed position, so that'll prevent some of the backflow. But the pool is actually overfilled due to recent rainfalls, so as soon as I take this lid off and make a cut, it's going to want to come out fairly dramatically. So I got a rag and a Walmart type bag. I'm going to try to shove in that hole to maybe limit some of the water that comes out. What happens when you don't want it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try to get these screws out. Last one was a little bit tricky to get to. Okay, pumps loose now. The only thing holding it are the PVC pipes, so I'm going to go ahead and cut those now. This is a ratchet type PVC cutter. I'm going to leave enough of a lip on this part so that I can put one of those joints in between and reuse this bottom half. If I cut too close, then I won't be able to put a sleeve over the pipe. So I need a little bit of this pipe left. So I'm going to make my cut right about here. It ratchets. And now it's like I lied to you, huh? Thought it was going to be easier than this, but alright. Try to get another bite on the cut, maybe get it a little bit closer. Alright, now we're through. We're going to make another cut on this pipe, kind of with the same intention. I'm going to leave some clean area right here to reuse those fittings. This is a flexible pipe, it's a lot easier to cut. Alright, I had to switch cameras. Apparently that camera of the car was full. So what you missed was me taking off these fittings after I finished my cuts. Just using the ratchet cutter to cut this. Since I'd removed the screws already, the pump just came right off the pedestal. Now I did have to use a pipe wrench. A large crescent wrench might have worked too, since there's some corners on this. And I'll loosen this until the point that I could remove it by hand. And I removed this one too. I made a few comments that because of the way this is attached, a little bit crooked, I might go ahead and just not reuse this piece and utilize the extra piece that I have sitting over there. Alright, so next step, I'm gonna move the new pump over here and kind of get a feel for what kind of gluing and any additional cutting that I'll have to make, and then we'll hook it all back up. Alright, so I decided I really didn't like the way this whole angle was looking and the stress it was creating on this, so I'm going to totally replumb that. I took a little bit of the PVC off just because I want to temporarily set this, since here I can't make any adjustments side to side. So this is where essentially the pump has to be. I might even put a couple of screws back in to hold it in place. And now I'm going to work up this connection with the materials that I have on the table. Alright, so the piece we're looking for is going to look something like this. This part going into the pump. Let me make sure we're in the view of the camera. Yep. I don't have any other 90s, so I'm going to have to reuse this. So we're looking for something like this. I'm going to cut this away. Be coming up like that, and then we're going to need an additional piece rising up from here. Actually, by changing the angle, I may be able to reuse that. It's still pointing down. Alright, I'm going to go and check this and see how it looks. Alright, so it needs to be a little bit long. I wonder if we can trick it. Looks like we're going to need about an inch longer, so we're not going to be able to use this. We'll cut another piece real quick. Alright, so I've lengthened that piece. And that looks pretty good there, taking into account that this is going to be screwed in. Looks like we're right on the money, but I'm going to need a little bit of an extension to come down, so I had to change the angle of the camera because apparently the camera is overheating in the sun. I'm gonna put a little bit of sealant on this fitting. Just gonna go hand tight in. All right. All right, now I'm gonna go to the table and glue these joints, leaving the two external joints free until I can get over here. I do believe I'm going to snip a little bit off of this, but I'll see after I glue everything together. Alright. See if I can get these off. I don't want this to drip on the table, so I'm going to try to do this. Just dripped it on the table. Alright, first piece, push it on as far as possible. Okay, coating the inside of each fitting and then the outside of the new piece. Alright, now remember, we're leaving the outside pieces undone. We're going to glue those when we get over to the pump. Alright, there we go, all glued up. We'll let that tack up a minute and then we'll make our attachment there. I'll probably have to cut a little bit off this end. We'll give that a couple minutes just to set. Alright, I think we're ready. Go ahead and finalize these attachments. Don't want to forget this uprising. Oh, it's getting sloppy. I'd rather be a little sloppy than have any of this leak after, so. Alright. I'm feeling pretty comfortable with taking a little bit off of this piece right here. All right. we go. And that's all there is to that. Hope you got a good view of that. Joints glued. We'll give it a little while to tack up. I might work on zip tying some of this electrical a little bit better, so we don't have such a mess of wires laying around. And then we'll fire up the pump shortly. Probably should have started with a test run of the pump to make sure that the one they sent me wasn't defective, but that's where we are. Alright, so here's how we ended up. Pump is attached, plumbed. Reran some of the wiring a little bit neater. Coiled up the excess. Now we're going to go take a look at the power. Make sure we're getting power over here. And go ahead and start the pump. Alright, we've got power to the control panel. This is a saltwater control panel I installed 2 years ago. Should have made a video of that because this greatly improved the quality of our swim season. Let's see what happens when I click it. In case you didn't hear it, pump fired right up and it's pumping. Bubbles have disappeared, but you can see some of the debris getting sucked down. Tell you what, that pump is pumping like none of the pumps I've had previously. So the pool's pretty dirty, so I need to go ahead and skim this debris out of here because it's not going to take very long for it to plug up the screeners. Alright, next video episode is going to be how to open your pool when it looks like this. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and if you have a question or just a comment or something or suggestion, I'd really appreciate it if you either like the video or post your comments at the bottom. Thank you.